Hello, my friends, and I have a question here or a comment here that I'd like to talk about that came across the channel. So let's take a look at it. Between thousands of issues that I cannot understand about physical experience, the one, quote, God needs to experience love through us, unquote, is definitely the most hard. If God is love, the most pure and unconditional love, why would he need experience this fragile and poor kind of love that we have here? I really try to see things from a positive perspective, but this reality doesn't make any sense for me. However, I'm very thankful for your message. All right, so this is a great question, and the answer is in your question. The answer is directly in your question, actually. First of all, let's start with the he. Your whole question is based upon the premise that you and God are separate. You and God are not separate. You and God are one. And so there is not an outer entity that's separate from you. You and God are one and the same. And that is the first fallacy that makes it hard to understand what we're talking about with the God needs to experience love through us. The second part of this is God doesn't need anything. There is no outer entity that needs anything. There is no need. It just is. But the interesting thing is it's not about a well, let me just drop back. Why does he need to experience this fragile and poor kind of love that we have here? Once again, this talks about the separation of heaven and here, right? You're talking about this very ancient paradigm of a heaven that's separate from us. You know, you're bringing heaven to earth. And the way you bring heaven to earth is by recognizing that it already is here, and you are creating it here. Your experience is here. Now, why do we have this physical experience? Well, first of all, understand you're not always in the physical experience. Every 16 hours or so, you fall asleep. And the reason you fall asleep is because you're going back into the source, back into you're breaking free from the physical experience, and you're recharging and coming back. So I kind of look at the physical experience almost like deep sea diving. I'm coming into the physical experience, but I have to go back to recharge. And that, or go back up for air now and again. So why would why would we need this physical experience? Why would we need this opposite feeling of an unconditional love? Because if you never knew the opposite, if you never knew the lack of it, you could never experience it. It would just be this thing that was there always. And over time, you would forget that anything was different. You would forget, and it wouldn't be blissful. It would be boring. It would be stagnation. You'd be in this state and be like, okay, this is just the way it is. But having these sojourns into the lack of love lets you experience love fully. So the universal consciousness of God, everybody, everything, is all about experiencing love. Well, you can only experience love by having the lack of it. But here's the other element. Being here in this physical construct, this physical space, allows you to experience giving love, taking love, loving your hobbies, loving your car, loving your girlfriend, loving your boyfriend, loving your best friend. You have the experience of loving all of those things. You also have the experience of losing your best friend and not feeling that love anymore. You could have the experience of losing your partner and not feeling that love anymore. You have the experience of really making someone angry, or being very angry because you've been disrespected and not getting someone's love in that way. You have all of these facets and angles and ways of experiencing love through itself and through the lack of it. And so the physical experience is just that, experience. We're here to experience things. It's not about a need. It's not about a separate God at all, and it's definitely not about a separate God needing. It's about the one experience of understanding love, and the only way you can do it is to experience the opposite or the lack of it. In science, they would call it a baseline. You can't know nor measure anything without having a baseline to start from. You have to understand that you would never experience love if you never experienced the lack of it. You would never experience come to understand the feeling of love without feeling the lack of it or the illusion of the lack of it. And so it's not about a God needing anything. It's about this is how we experience love from all angles and from all facets. And God is love, and we are collective with God. We are one with God. The Father and I are one. That's what he said, right? I am the Son of Man. You are the children of God. Those are, this is like I'm a man and I'm a God. I'm the same thing. It's all one. It's all one thing. And the idea of this is that you are a part of the Creator. You are a part of the experience that surrounds you. And as part of that experience, you are part of the oneness of God, which means you are God. You are part of God. But the only way you can experience yourself is to explore yourself, to explore your thoughts, to explore your feelings, to explore your emotions. If God is love, the only way you can experience and explore love is to feel the lack of it, feel the struggles, feel the joyous elation of having it. It's about feeling love, because if we never felt the difference, it would be stagnation, no motion, still, and we wouldn't be evolving into something more loving, more caring. The interesting thing about the world right now is the world is becoming more loving. It only doesn't seem it if you're watching the news, because the news is based upon how negative can we make the world. So people will look and be afraid and check. But the reality of it is becoming a much more loving world. And you can see that in the children coming up. They are much less racist. They are much less homophobic. They are much more caring. They are much more open to having joyful friendships with all kinds of different people. They don't care about religion. They don't care about those things. They care about experiencing life and being loving and being caring. And the people who are being loud and going crazy and doing violent things right now are doing so because they're afraid. What are they afraid of mostly? Not having love. And the interesting thing is the planet is evolving. More and more people are becoming more loving, more caring. And they're doing so because they're experiencing love and its absence. They're experiencing what it feels like not to have it. So what are they doing? They're making it more loving more often. And over time, the world becomes more and more loving. And what does it say? Bringing heaven to earth. Same thing. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.